Poem number 6, that is Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, written by Androni Rich. Now actually this poem, it addresses the restrictions of the married life a woman experiences, the problems, the difficulties, the restrictions a woman experiences in her married life. Now when we read the title of this poem, that is Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, we think that it is about Jennifer's tigers, but actually this word tiger, it denotes the dominant husband. We are talking about here in this poem, we are talking about the husband who dominates her wife and always tries to suppress her. Now in our poem, Aunt Jennifer, she was a suppressed woman, and how she feels her married life. Was it a happy life, or does she think that she was free? That pays in slick chivalric certainty. Now in the first stanza, we just come to know that Aunt Jennifer, she was a suppressed woman, and she was embroidering a motif with tigers which were prancing, energetic and fearless. Aunt Jennifer, she was embroidering a motif, making some designs of tigers, and with the help of the wool and the needle. And in her pictures or whatever she was knitting at that time, the tigers which she had were prancing, energetic and fearless, and they were moving freely around. Tigers on her needlework, they were in total contrast to her own life. She was dominated by her husband, and the tigers in her motif, they were bright colored and looked like shining golden yellow jewel. Here bright topaz, it is a shining golden yellow jewel, and the tigers in her motif, they were bright colored and they just look like that topaz. Now Aunt Jennifer, she needed freedom, and so she created the tigers as her other world where there was freedom. The tigers here represented freedom in contrast to her submissive married life. Here in her motif which she was embroidering, in that the tigers, they were moving freely, they were fearless. So why she was making that type of embroidery work? Because she wanted to represent freedom, she loved freedom, and she didn't want to live the submissive life. Now in the second stanza, Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. Now when she is embroidering the images of the tigers by using the wool, she was so afraid of her husband and tormented that she was not even able to pull the ivory needle or bear the weight of the wool. So her fingers seemed to be fluttering, shivering, and the ring which she was wearing and which was given by her husband, it seemed to be a band. It was very heavy on her hand because it was burdened with family responsibilities. Once a woman gets married, there are so many responsibilities that she has to carry on, and there are many restrictions also where she has to just suppress herself. So your Aunt Jennifer also, she was burdened with the family responsibilities, and the weight of that ring which she had worn, or it was given by her husband, it was too heavy for her. It was actually, the weight was not heavy, but because of the responsibility, that had become too heavy. Aunt Jennifer worked and bore hardships to glorify a tiger in her life, that is her husband. Now in the last stanza, when Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still drained with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. Now, in this last stanza, the poetess she reveals a sad truth that even after the death, aunt she would not be able to release herself from the suffering she had undergone during her life. And the tigers which she had embroidered would forever be free, because that tigers represents the her husband. The poem was a reminder about how many women became the victim of the male domination in society. As we know that in our society or in the country we live, there most probably it's a male dominating society, and the women they long for freedom, they wish to be free and they want the dignity of their life. They were not able to get out of these miseries. Only when they die they get released from this miseries, from this what we can say, that is suppression. The poetess wants to that these women readers to know that they themselves were to be blamed for creating this kind of society, that is the male dominating society, by creating these tigers. This means this dominating husbands, we can say. They needed to become independent, fearless, so that they could break away from the shackles that enslaved them. These women, they have to become independent, they have to become fearless, then only they could be out of this cage, we can say, because they are just bound to do all different duties, all the they have supposed to face the difficulties. And though it's not that only the women has to do all such things, it's a part of the duty of the man also. But in the male dominating society, the male feels that this is to be done or it's to be back only by the woman. So in order to make some change in this society, the women have to come up, they have to become fearless, they have to open their mouth, they should not live a suppressive life, they should be fearless, they have to be energetic, and their thoughts also should be independent, so that they can open their mouth. They should be educated enough to know what to speak at the right time. So here we are ended with the poem. I hope you have understood the poem. Now in the next session we will be discussing the figures of speech of the same poem. Till then, goodbye.